beautiful one.
Good day and welcome to the United Hour. I am President Chan, and in the house with me is the man Robert and the man Zaire. Gentlemen, I just want to start with the show with saying toast to Manchester United for not spoiling my weekend. Thank you very much for allowing me to have an enjoyable weekend this weekend, Manchester United. I appreciate that.
Very much.
I know we are English. Well, we were English, being Caribbean people and all, but this is not tea. All right, moving along. So we had, we're trying to live forever, trying to live forever, and you don't live forever without drinking herbs. Manchester Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. We're going to the details. We're getting to the details of the program. I want to just touch quickly your overall thoughts, and we're going to get into the details of the game, in a little bit. So, Robert, what are your overall thoughts on the game?
Well, I didn't see the game live. I watched the long highlights, so I was able to get like a simple sense of the game. I think the game in the second half was better than the first. I think we were able to create more chances in the second because again, it's like it took for them to score for us to start to do something, which again is a problem. But today, Bruno didn't look bad. He wasn't good. He wasn't bad. Seeing Holland again, it was good. I think the guys stepped up. I think the defense stepped up. Martinez looked good. I'm not saying to happen there right sure, but for today, it was good, and it was for once a somewhat capable performance. They look like an actual team that plays football for once. So, and I mean, I was up to this morning, and I did see parts of the Spurs game. I saw Bayern Leverkusen before that, so I got spoiled with actual football. So,
man, say actual football, yes?
Yeah. So my team did something. You know what I mean? The team did something. We won. So I have.
Zaire, what's your overall thoughts?
A tale of two halves. First half, I mean, the argument could be made on the balance of the first half. We would have preferred to probably have gone in at 0-0, right? To concede that late into the half, yes, mitigating factors. We were down to 10 men at the time. It doesn't excuse Dallo for completely letting his marker run away from him in the box. They get a free and uncontested header. But what I wanted to see at that point was an immediate and effective response. And we got that out of the blocks in the second half. So, game of two halves, second half was distinctly better than the first. I really think we should have ended up winning this game at least 4 or 5-1, right? 2 well-taken goals. So I must congratulate both of the scorers. Also, 2 beautiful assists from Rashford and the much maligned captain of Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes. I'll take the 3 points because in our last 2 games, we dropped a combined 4 points. So I'll take the 3 today, and we happily going in the right direction up the table. I think we out of the top 10 just on goal difference now, or we may be just about 10th.
So yeah, just about 10. So good afternoon to Courtney and everybody that is joining us live. Let's do some housekeeping. So we're going to be having, going forward, Garnacho signed Garnacho t-shirt giveaway. So how can you win that signed Garnacho t-shirt giveaway? Very simple. You just comment in the comments, a comment starting with hashtag the United, right? And everybody that comments under the comments in the shows, we're going to check it. So later on, we're going to tell you specifically what to comment on. Well, I can tell you now, we talking when we reach to the man of the match, when we talking man of the match, so you're going to comment man of the match. Every show, the comment will be something different, right? So you would say, hashtag the United Hour, my man of the match was Onana, or my man of the match was, whatever. So that is how you're going to do it in this show, but going forward, and it's strictly for the YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on Facebook and you're interested in winning that Garnacho shirt, you can keep watching us on Facebook. When you finish, go across to YouTube and make a comment. It doesn't matter if it's live or whenever you're viewing the program, just comment the match with hashtag the United Hour, and we're going to take your name down. Remember, you could enter any amount of times. Siraj, welcome again, Siraj. Always nice to have you on. Siraj is saying that Ten Hag is shite. He has to go, and everybody played 5 out of 10. I would disagree. I think Ericsson played better than 5 out of 10. And we had a couple players as well that did really well. Billet did really good as well to me. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Gentlemen, I disagree with both of you. Robert, I could give you a pass because you didn't see the game live. You saw highlights, and they would not have. I'm sure you would have seen the amount of chances we missed in the first half. I thought we should have gone in leading in the first half. The first opportunity of the game did fall to Brentford. Very easy ball across the box. Evans missed it. Their striker missed it. But afterwards, we had a good few chances. We missed some sitters as well in the first half. So the first half to me was fairly balanced. It's not to say Brentford was dominating us in any stretch of the imagination. We did increase our intensity in the second half because we were down. But so we played better in the second half, yes. But we should have put away our chances. And I don't know what is frustrating me with Manchester United more than anything else is the fact that we're not putting away our chances. We creating the opportunities, we build up players good, and then we just missing sitters. Even after we scored the second goal, our second striker when he came on, I forgot his name right now.
Xerxes.
When Xerxes came on, he was supposed to have a sitter. To just put in the back of the net, goalkeeper on the ground, whole ball at your mercy, and they missed the whole ball. Ericsson in the second half as well.
Yeah,
in the box. But almost between the penalty area and the goal, and you slide the ball over, you know what I mean? Not even on target, you didn't give the goalkeeper something to do. We keep missing sitters. And even if a team score 1 or 2 against us, if we score more goals, we will win most, if not all, of our games. You know what I mean? So that is what is frustrating. Not so much individual players, but as a team, we're not scoring goals. But let's talk about the first goal. The first goal in the game was Brentford. The Caribbean-born defender, Pinnock, scored a beautiful header off of a corner. Anybody who's been watching Brentford would have seen that movie countless times. Right? You know what I mean? That is a very regular state of play for Brentford. Good afternoon, man, Martin Phillip. Now, some people consider it controversial because Dillit was off the pitch. I've seen people on social media criticizing the Manchester United medical team because, okay, you're trying to put a patch on his head and it keeps falling off or the blood keeps going. Just take that towel and wrap it. You know, we've seen that. You want the player on the pitch. There's a defender. He's an important player. You want the player on the pitch. Just stop the bleeding, right? It's not, we don't care how it looks. Stop the bleeding. I don't think the player cares.
No.
Stop the bleeding, get the man on the pitch. He was off the pitch for too long. Some people are blaming the Manchester United medical team. What say you?
I would say yes and no. Yes, because he took too long to come back on. They look very incompetent because even with the highlight, I mean, they showed them for a very long time. They were looking like real amateurs. It was real amateurish. And even afterwards, you would go on different spaces and you would see, I mean, it took too long. They moved as though they never saw a man head bleeding before, And I was confused. I was very baffled. I mean, the images looked iconic. If you didn't know, maybe in 10 years' time, you show a boy this and say, hey, this is the reason why I should play for this club. Because you all remember the Village pictures.
Yeah, it was nice. It's a long time, It's nice to see a player with blood streaming on his head, show a little fight, But I agree with you.
However, even though we were 10, even though we had 10 men, we still had 10 men. You tell me that these 10 guys can't defend. I mean, I cannot just all say that it was on them. We still had 10 other players. Because they all knew the let is out. Double up, do something, but you left the man there open. It's not to say he went and fought 3 men and got ahead. He was open. So it was so at the end of the day, it came back down again to the players. They didn't do their jobs. You understand? They did not do their job.
All right, Zaire, what were your thoughts on their goal?
Can't disagree with what Robert was saying. We were talking earlier, and it's like the man had a totally uncontested free header in the box. Dalot starts off with his eyes on the man. The man decides to go for a run, and then Dalot decides, I'm not following you, brother. No. You big up yourself. Right? If you're good enough, score it. Go Brave.
Yeah. And if you watch Brentford even a little bit, he's good enough, right?
Of course,
he's good enough. We've seen enough scores like that.
Scored, right? He is good enough. He's good enough to usually be on my fantasy team, but I mean, not when we play them. But it is, to me, a little disheartening. Not that we conceded, but throughout the season, the type of goals that we have been conceded, right? The way opponents have been finding themselves, as in this one, free in the box or being gifted by an errant pass or a poor decision. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong here, I do not think we have conceded a goal yet for this season that is an absolute out of this world worldly that no keeper in the world was going to save. Yeah, a man went on an amazing Ryan Giggs-like run and beat through 5-6 players. I don't think we're not conceding goals like that.
No.
We are conceding goals at this level.
Yeah, but even at our worst time last season, or even at our worst time under Ole, we haven't been conceding goals like that.
No, I take that, but
overall defensively we've been good.
We still need to find a way to stop the lapses to be considered.
Yeah, correct.
If I concede a goal in a game, I want to leave feeling if I going in halftime 1-0 down, there really wasn't anything we could have do about our goal, fellas. But that's okay. Let's pick ourselves up and go again.
But
yeah. So we had a makeshift back four, right? We had Delit, we had Martinez, we had Dalot, and we had Evans. Right? So we had Martinez playing as our left back. Apart from the low ball watching for the corner and the goal, how are you talking about for performed overall?
Not bad. Not too bad, given the fact that, okay, makeshift is makeshift, right? The good thing when you're having something makeshift is that the player you're drafting in has the experience of a Johnny Evans, who at this stage in his career has seen it all, done it all, pretty much in the Premier League. He's played at the highest of levels with the previous iteration of Manchester United when he was here, and he has played at lower levels. And no disrespect to the teams I'm going to call, but the West Broms and the Leicester Cities when he was with them was decidedly at a lower level than with us. No, right? So if you're drafting somebody in like that, regardless of how makeshift, they're supposed to be able to draw on something that will let them assimilate, adapt, and modify, and be able to guide those around them. I have to say, way back last year when we were first being linked with Dylan, I was not sold on the idea. Even this year when his name came up, I felt sure that there would be better options out there for us. Having now, though, looked at him for this season thus far, seen how, one, committed he seems to be, today being an example. Because it was very easy to tell the medical staff, you ain't going back on, or you want to go back on, right? And just go take a early shower and fix up yourself nice to look pretty after. But I've seen the commitment, I've seen the dedication, I've seen him willing to put his body at risk, and I've also seen a pretty nice synergy between him and Martinez at centre back and him and his fullback. Right? So I'm happy. I'm happy with what I've seen.
All right, cool. So, gentlemen, it's nice that we could actually talk about Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho with positive things to say. We had Marcus and Bruno getting assists today. We had Garnacho and Holland scoring goals today. Um, we want to talk about. Let's talk about the stats. So I was going through some stats before we went live. So I could pull all those stats and let's talk about the stats and then we'll.
Well, according to the stats, the possession battle was won by United, 51% to 49. Total shots, United 23, Brentford 8. And I think our second half probably really skewed that in our favor and bumped it up to as much as 23. Shots on target, United 11, Brentford 2. Total passes, United 489, Brentford 480, which does give you the impression that the game was balanced pretty
Well,
much.
people have to remember that that's Brentford game.
That is the
Brentford game is possession football, hold on to the ball, pass the ball, certain
now.
patterns of play. That is how
I,
Brentford play football.
I will say this though. This might have been a hell of a different result if Brentford had Ivan Toney or somebody of his ilk up front. I think that would present a different challenge than the type of front players they have right now. Right? We didn't look like if their front players were going to really just run at us, take on the defense, and beat a man one on. Right? So overall with these statistics, I am still, when you have something as 11 shots on target, come on. I mean, come on, man. 50% of your shots basically on target. You need to be scoring more than 2. You need to be scoring more
Agreed.
than 2.
Agreed. When Robert and I would have seen you play the first goal, what you thought about it?
Our first goal, it was it 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 surprised today surprised me because I left my home thinking that you were gonna draw, and then I saw you won. So I was confused. I was confused this whole day. I watched the highlights. I'm still confused. I'm confused by the chat. I'm confused because where we were a few weeks ago to now, I don't understand like why is it that these guys could seemingly right pull out performances when Ten Hag is about to get fired. But then next could come. Well, our next game is when Thursday, I believe, in the Europa League. I
Yeah.
guarantee you.
Thursday we go by Uncle Jose.
Right. Not guarantee you getting licks. You know why? Because these men are I don't know. They have a
Inconsistent at best.
yes. Um,
And
I saw the good of Bruno today. I saw Rashford actually running at people today. You know, I don't know if he and Miguel done. So maybe that's why he playing good. I don't know because normally, right, when he and Miguel, right, having problems is when he play good, and when he and she good when he's play cracks. I don't know. I'm hoping that he and his girl stay vexed. That's my hope. I hope she is on her cycle and he can't get
well,
none.
my my hope is that Rashford game would stop depending on his off the field romantic situation.
I don't
You
know,
know what
man.
I mean? I would hope that eventually his game would elevate where it really doesn't matter what's going on at
Is
home.
that
He could
typical?
bring it on the pitch.
Yeah,
And I
typical.
totally agree. I totally agree with me. You know that Robert, like you have put
Hey,
close.
I have
Oh no,
lawyers
we wanna be
over me.
talking about
Not,
Rashford and
no,
Rashford
hey,
game.
hey, please, let Courtney know that not only does Robert have court clothes,
Yeah.
he has the perfect hairstyle to pull off a judge's wig.
You understand? I ain't afraid, I ain't frightened. I ain't frightened. That's all.
So Zaire, second goal, that was a nice pass, but a nice cheeky striker's finish. Something we've been missing for a little while. A quality striker's finish by Holland.
And it shows that, so this is the young man's second season, right?
Mhm.
And it shows that strides have been made from last season to now. Confidence is there. Patience is a little more in the offering. Last season, when he was going through his rough times, he was going and fire that way over the bar or straight at the keeper. Right? Because he was going through a period there where he was gonna bet that if it was no keeper, he was still going and miss the goal. He was just that hard up last time. I've seen him, you could almost see in him a maturity in his in the moment game time decisions and in his finishing. And could that coincidentally be because he is now learning from one of the undisputed best finishers that have played the game in Ruud van Nistelrooy? Perhaps. Perhaps it is having a very good effect on them, right? Before the finish, I think that little pass from Bruno just encapsulates all that we love about him and all that frustrates us. In that at the drop of a hat, he will try something like that and it will come off. But then more times than not, it doesn't. Right? And I think maybe that is just Bruno being Bruno. And we have to decide either we living with it or we are living with it. It's sort of like for those poor fellas who does, tempt the gods and married Redoman, but it's either you're living with it or you're living with it. Right? Have no
One of,
shades
one
of
of,
have no shades of
one of,
gray.
one of the things that frustrate me a lot with Bruno Fernandes and this team right now is, to me, Manchester United goes the way Bruno Fernandes goes. Bruno Fernandes has not really shown up like the Bruno Fernandes we have come to know in the past this season. Bruno Fernandes has had a horrible start to the season, and so has Manchester United. You know, people can say what they want about Bruno and whether he should be captain or not. Right now, Bruno Fernandes is the leader of this team, and this team goes the way Bruno goes. If we can get Bruno to be performing on regular and we perform today, I expect this team to continue to, the red cards, the inconsistency, this team is Bruno's team right now. And emotionally, this team responds to how Bruno Fernandes is. Bruno Fernandes has a stinker, we lose. It's plain and simple. Bruno has a stinker, we lose. So whether you like Bruno or you don't, if you're a Manchester United supporter, you want Bruno Fernandes to be having some big beats. Right?
So let me,
Let's talk man of the match.
man of the
Go ahead,
match.
sir.
Listen, for me, it's a little bit of a toss-up. Garnacho did a lot of good things, right? He scored, beautiful finish. But I also saw a lot of moments when I would have preferred he wasn't selfish, right?
Right? Stick up and remember what you're saying at this juncture, people. This is where you're going to be writing in the comments if you're checking us out on YouTube. Hashtag the United Hour. My man of the match is if you want your opportunity to win a Ganacho signed Ganacho T-shirt courtesy of the United Hour. Hashtag the United Hour. Man of the match, and you just comment on below in the YouTube chat. Yeah, you thought he was a little selfish.
Right. So for me, my man of the match has to be the most, at this current time, the most unsung player we have on the field, and that's Christian Eriksen.
Christian Eriksen had a good game. He had a good game. He has had a good few games. Actually, I think he's the most informed player. And Ten Hag is getting no credit for anything good he does. Playing one holding midfielder with Christian Eriksen in the middle of the pitch, I consider a very brave thing to do. Because Christian Eriksen is traditionally not known for his defending. He has never played as a deep lying playmaker. In his career, he always plays high up the pitch as a traditional number 10. So, I haven't heard anybody anywhere give kudos to Ten Hag for doing this consistently and having success. And I would like to say, that is a master stroke in and getting the level of performances we have been getting out of a player that knows what it is to see death's door. You know what I'm saying? There's not to say there's a young Christian Eriksen. There's not 28, 29-year-old Christian Eriksen. And to get this level of football from him, and we know this is his last season with the club, I kudos to the management and kudos to the player. Who's your man of the match, Robert?
To me, it would be between Gillett or Johnny Evans, because to me, Gillett had, he had a good game. He fought through, eye injury. He has been the most consistent player so far this year. And then there's Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans, right, who came into this side when I still had my rasp. I had long hair, right?
Robert, I don't know that anybody watching this program remembers when you had a rasp. Nobody. I do, but nobody. It was so long ago.
Robert, that's something like back when I was married, boy. You had a rasp, I was catching my ass. Something like that.
I was still in school, Johnny Evans, and here we are, and the man's still here, and so I have to give the man his flowers. I have to. So I would give it to either Johnny Evans or Gillett. I would have to.
All right, I am. Ganacho is a good shout. Gillett is a good shout. Eriksen is a good shout. I have been really impressed with Onana's performance, and Onana didn't just save an excellent shot, because if that shot had ended up in the back of the net, nobody was going to say he was supposed to save that, right? No. He saved an excellent shot to keep it at 1-0 instead of it being 2-0. And he passed an early ball to Delo. And if Delo just kept a little more composure, we would have had an Onana assist in the game. There was no reason Delo was not supposed. The ball was so perfect to Delo, he ended up being one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Right? And ended up kicking it straight at the goalkeeper. So I would say kudos to Onana today. For me. And he would have been my man of the match. I want to take a little time to look at the other games that, with some interesting results going on around the league. I think obviously the one that stood out most is
Arsenal.
Bournemouth Arsenal. Arsenal lost 2-0 today. Now, Arsenal did have a player sent off. Arsenal did have a player sent off. People remember, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and remember, comment, hashtag Manchester, hashtag the United Hour for your opportunity to win a signed Ganacho t-shirt. Yeah, Bournemouth beat Arsenal. Arsenal got a player sent off early on in the game. Saliba for being the last man back.
So,
But still, when Saliba was sent off, it was 1-0. It was 0-0, sorry.
so
And so that was an interesting result.
no,
Uh,
they lost. They're crap. Arsenal. I am tired of people picking up Arsenal. I'm sorry. Okay? The only reason Arsenal are where they are because we are crap. Because Chelsea are crap, Spurs are Spurs, right? Arsenal are only good because everyone else is crap. Arsenal are Arsenal. Stop the madness. I'm glad to get it today.
we we not big enough Arsenal at all, but I hear you.
Listen, man, when I finish, I saved AFTV. So after this show, I'm gonna go and get some tea and sit down and enjoy AFTV today. Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
It's so great.
and even without them,
Mm.
I am in Cuba today on my way to a class. And of all the days to run into our old schoolmate was today.
Mhm.
I ready to boast that we win because the man is a diehard Chelsea fan. And they have Liverpool tomorrow. And the man ready to short circuit my celebration. Say, boy, we on a real GT today, boy. You see, I telling all my Chelsea partners and all my chats, we have to do everything to protect Eric Ten Hag. We cannot let Manchester fire that man. And I'm like, these stinkers now, boy.
Don't worry, don't eat that words. Don't eat
Right
that
now,
words on the
I am
plate.
putting it out into the ether tomorrow. Well, let's see what's on the jersey, right? I'm wearing the
Right.
Wolves jersey for spite so that Wolves could do something tomorrow.
Mm. I
Everton beat Ipswich 2-0, which to me is shocking because Everton just hadn't been able to hold on to a victory.
No,
Southampton and Leicester played to a 3-2. That was a 5-goal game. Leicester beat
after
Southampton
Southampton
3-2.
was up 2-0, they come and lose 3-2.
Correct. Newcastle lost at home to Brentford 1-0.
To
Danny
Brighton.
Welbeck, Brighton, sorry, yes, Brighton. Danny Welbeck seemed to be on a tear right now.
Sign them up, Arteta.
Fulham lost to Aston Villa 3-1. I think that was expected. Aston Villa is doing well. And Spurs beat West Ham 4-1. There were a lot of people expecting West Ham to do something this season. I wasn't one of them.
But
I
they
know
went up
people
1-0 quite early in the game.
West Ham have a new coach and they have nice players, and some people was expecting something from West Ham. I wasn't one of them at all.
I think this guy Tobido, I think he went to West Ham, and right now he's waiting for us next season to come across. I think so.
R10 is saying AFTV is back, so he will be watching AFTV with you after this program, Robert.
Right.
Martin Phillip is asking a very interesting question. There were at least five. I don't think it was six. I think there was 5 red cards given out today. And he's asking, has anyone ever seen so many players sent off in one day? And in one day of Premier League football, I could honestly say no, I have never seen so many red cards.
I can't recall.
I'm just glad Manchester United wasn't recipient of any of them.
Especially with Casemiro playing so many minutes.
And let's be honest, when you look at this season, on the whole, It just had a lot of red cards for reading.
Yeah,
It just had a lot of red cards. Arsenal alone have had what, about three or four.
yeah. So far,
Bruno alone has had a few.
I think it's just the rules now. I think they're making the rules now too ridiculous. So now referees have to give cards now. So they
Well,
have.
I didn't see all of them. Right? Obviously, I was focused on our game.
Yeah,
I saw the one in Arsenal, and to me, that was a straightforward red. Whether that was no, whether that was 5 years ago, that was going to be
yeah,
a
yeah,
red.
yeah, yeah. That yes.
So I didn't see all of them, but you know, I just hope for consistency. Let's hope that the Premier League doesn't do what they have done in the past sometimes, which is in the middle of the season they want to course correct. In the middle of the season, all of a sudden, what gave you a red card at the beginning of the season, not giving you a red card. That is frustrating for players and it's frustrating for us watching the game. However, they're officiating, stick with it throughout the season. Everybody could get accustomed and they could respond accordingly. Um, Coming into this game, the manager has been under a lot of fire. And even though we finished talking about the game, I just want to get from you all right now. There's a question I will be asking everybody over the next few weeks. Everybody new that comes on that I'm on program with. What are your thoughts on Eric Ten Hag right now, Robert?
Um, I think he's a man on the edge. I think last season it was the same thing. Every time that there was a game where he was supposed to get fired, we would go and just pull out a result. So today should not be that surprising. Um, I I don't know if I don't know if any coach really and truly has what it takes right now to get our team to where we are supposed to be. I think we can bring Zidane, Pep, and Klopp at the same time. And I think we will still be in the same place. I think there's something fundamentally wrong with the club, right? And but also I think Ten Hag also has his problems as well. Like he is very stubborn in his ways. Like for example, like with today, you know, you don't have a left back. How about you play three in the back? You have Evans, we have Martinez, you have Dillon. Play three in the back. Play a 3-5-2. You know, do something different. You understand?
I would say the same, Robert.
Yeah, yeah.
I There was times today where I felt it had training back because Martinez wasn't given license to run up
No.
as Mazwari would have been given. So he, Evans, and the Lit were consistently in the back. And, as Dilo normally does, Dilo ended up going up into midfield.
Yeah.
And I actually watched us defend at certain points in that game, and I was like, we could play a training back sometimes depending on the opposition.
Mhm.
So we did turn into training back at some point. But yeah, I hear you. The manager could be a little stubborn, but he have your backing right now.
Well, because I mean, he has my backing because to be fair, who are we going to get now? There really is, and I don't want to go back down this cycle again of manager fired, new manager, and again now,
Especially in the middle of the season.
yes, and then we don't know. Well, again, I'm assuming, right, that the players that we brought were not specifically for him. They were for our style of play that the owners are trying to implement, if I am correct. So if that is the case, then I would say that maybe you could get rid of Ten Hag. But if it is that we brought these players in for him, then to me it doesn't make sense to fire him. Because you're bringing a new coach, and that means certain players obviously would not fit into his system.
So I hear what your thoughts on Ten Hag right now.
Okay. I hope my math's correct here, right? Is I Saturday, so maths teacher off duty.
All right.
Alex Ferguson left in the 2012-2013 season when we won, right?
Mm.
Good. So we're heading on almost 12 years since he's gone. Right? In that 12 years, we have averaged a new manager every 2 years because we've gone through 6 permanent appointments. Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, Solskjaer, I'll check Ragnick, and now Ten Hag.
Mm-hmm.
We're not checking Giggs, player manager days, and Carrick intervention. Right? So 6. So we're averaging 1 every 2 years. We have players at this club from back then to now.
Mm-hmm.
But we changing the manager every 2 years on average without recycling players out the door. Players seem to only leave our club when they do a Pogba or a Sancho or a Varane, when they let their contract run down and walk out for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Until we fix other things, I cannot lay all the blame at any manager's fault, at feet. Now, on the other side of the coin, if I am Ineos, I didn't hire this guy. This is this guy's 3rd season. His first under me. Right? It would have been, to me, an instrumental question, and this would be, if Ineos were taking over sporting operations this season, as they did, and we were looking for a manager, would they have hired Ten Hag? To me, that's a good question that we should ponder.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if they want to give him the time, I believe he should get the time. Because it is, what have you done for me lately? You brought home a trophy last season, you brought home a trophy the season before that. Right? So you went from winning nothing for years to reaching 3 finals, winning 2. Good. What I want him to show, as Robert would have said, be less stubborn in some of your decision making. 1. Show that you are the manager in terms of, as you said earlier, Chad, we go as Bruno goes. If Bruno is having a stinker, the team has a stinker, we generally lose. But at this moment in time, we have a man in Christian Eriksen who has a real renaissance of form and is playing top of his game. Who can do exactly the position that Bruno does? So if Bruno is having a stinker, take him off. You are the manager. Retool your formation and let Eriksen slot into that role and see what this good form and this rich vein of performance that he is giving will give us. Likewise, you didn't make any substitutions today until the 80-something minute. Right? When you almost had no choice because Casemiro went down with a little leg something. Right? You don't have a bandaged up the lid that you want to take off. Right? And I think you had to take off Johnny because Johnny was on a yellow card. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But we would have been 2-1 up long before that for about 20 minutes. And you know that at this stage in their career, it's kind of hard to be asking the Casemiros and Johnny Evans of the world to run 90 minutes. So be a little more...
Professional footballer is supposed to run 90 minutes.
I hear you. But it is easy to say that on the outside when you're not the man on the field running. Right?
I definitely can't run 90 minutes. So I can
tell you, I mean, I was the very first time I ever played competitive cricket and ran that 22 yards up and down. Is then you just realize how long that 22 yards is to run up and down until the day you're running.
It don't look long when you're watching it. When
you're on the pitch and you had to run it. Right? You're like, wait, now me reach the other end yet? Right? And this is not if he is Raheem Cornwall size, right? This is if he is the average cricketer.
Mm-hmm.
So I am saying the man has done enough for me, regardless of how things go between now and Christmas, to see out the season. If it means in January, you pull him aside and say, here, what, partner? We really like where this direction is going. right? Come summer, I think we're going to move along. So for the rest of the season, give your best. And we'll part ways. Even so, fine. But what would I consider fireable or dismissible? No
No,
trophies.
you gave. All I wanted to know is your thoughts on Ten Hag presently, and you did that. We're not pondering what him being fired. Let's keep that at another time. We give
I
a
keep it
shout
in
out to
mind.
Jordan Heyman LFC. He said he's a new subscriber to the channel. Not sure he's necessarily a United supporter, but that's all right. All I
No, no,
welcome.
LFC, very suspicious.
Mm.
I just want to get my thoughts on Ten Hag, and then we'll shut it down. Until I see a name that gets me excited about a replacement for Eric Ten Hag, Eric Ten Hag have my 100% backing. Not 80, not 90, 100% until Southgate slips, falls, and dies, or is hired to work somewhere else. Eric Ten Hag has 100% backing from me. I know
And that would
that
be our fear as well.
because I don't care what nobody say. I don't want Southgate even near my. I don't even want him in the stands. He's not coaching England anymore. If Southgate is coming to Old Trafford to watch a game, he needs to be stopped by the gate and say, "Sorry, sir, you not allowed inside. We don't. I don't want him to know. I didn't want him walking in to his souvenir shop to buy Manchester
But
United souvenir." You
I will
understand
say
what I'm
one
saying?
thing, right? I will say one thing. If Southgate becomes our manager, I want to see ESPN say anything bad about us because you know they
No, no, no,
love
no.
us.
We will be the darling child.
All of a
We will be
sudden,
the
Yeah,
everything.
for 2 minutes. For two
No, no.
minutes, they can't help
Hold on.
themselves. They don't like the
Somehow,
bias too
I will
bad.
come with it.
mark my words, eh?
Mhm.
As God is my witness, knock on wood, all prayers three above, that it never happens.
Correct. Yes, correct.
If it happens,
Mm.
you're going to see English players playing all of a sudden like Prime Pele and Maradona, right? Going above and beyond 200%,
Mhm.
right? And even if all he could do is take us to the top, not even top three, top four, right? He would be the second coming of
Yes.
boy, I can't even say Sir Alex, so I don't want to put them two names
No,
together,
no. That'll be it. No, that'll be it. They will compare him to that.
Yeah. So
right?
until and the new coach of England, the new head coach of England wasn't floating my boat. Right? He was the best of the worst, the names managed. I like Brentford coach, but I like Brentford coach for Brentford. I don't like Brentford coach for Manchester United. I think Brentford coach is a good coach, but
You
not for my club.
You remember when
So
Moyes was that guy?
yeah.
Remember when Moyes
So
was
until I see or hear a coach that really I could see, yeah, but you know,
So let me
a
ask you this.
Nagelsmann, what was this guy who coaching his team in Germany, and
Oh,
Alonso,
that'd be a long
Not
you
time.
know,
Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Leverkusen, yeah. Unless something like that, leave Eric Ten Hag right where he is. 2 trophies in 2 years. Yes, sometimes the football ain't special, but I have genuine question marks how much of that is on the manager and how much of that is on the players.
So
You
Chad,
understand? Genuine question.
let me
Just now, let
ask
me
you.
just read this comment here from Artem, and we'll get to your statement. Artem is saying we are building something here, and it will take time and some great games. And I could agree with that. I
Yeah.
could agree with getting behind the manager because Manchester United is not Chelsea, and changing managers every 2 years is not acceptable. Go ahead, sir.
What? Let me put it this way then. I want to phrase this the right way, right? You say you don't see a name out there that excites you right now, right?
Lincoln Club.
realistically. Because, there was a ball-head man from France that they keep throwing his name out there. But he kept saying he has no interest in coaching in England.
He don't float my boat either. And I'll
Right.
tell you why. I've said this before in this program. So people would have been watching the program over a year ago, 2 years ago, without this. Zidane does not have a passion for coaching. If Zidane had a passion for coaching, he would have gotten a job like that. There are
I
lots
think he
of
has a
clubs that would
passion for
love.
win.
He have a passion for France. He has a passion for Real Madrid. If Real Madrid asks him to come now, he going. If France want to make him the head coach now, he will go. He will pick up that job immediately. I don't want anybody who is coming to my club who does not have a passion for coaching. Right? This is not a side gig. Manchester United is not a side piece. You understand what I'm saying? That is not who we are. And if that is your man, no, he is entitled. Zidane in his career is entitled to do what he do. Until I get to coach who I want to coach, I can sit on home and fuck up my foot. I have more than enough money. Me vexed with Zidane. I'm not vexed with Zidane. Zidane is perfectly has earned the right to be taken like a red woman and be picky. Right? He earned that right. Don't be beyond like a red woman with my club. So that's my attitude. So Zidane does not. I don't want to hear Zidane associated with Manchester United because if he really wanted the job, he'd have been already.
So let me answer this last question. Let us say 10 years down the road. I'm not saying Eric Ten Hag might last that full 10, right? But 10 years down the road.
That is beyond America.
Right? 10 years down the road, we are in the position where we are looking for a manager. And a certain Wayne Mark Rooney has built a career. Has covered. Right now, he's at Plymouth Argyle. Right? Let us say he has worked himself up through the ranks. He has gotten the success that people would look for at every level. And he is ready to now say, I want to come over.
The only place I see Wayne Rooney growing right now is around the waist, sorry to say. And the only former player that I would be interested in coaching Manchester United right now is Carrick and the present coach of Ipswich. Those two guys are impressing me presently. They're impressing me presently, and to the time in the wilderness where they are doing what they're doing, I could see Carrick and I could see McKenna coaching Manchester United in the future. Wayne Rooney, no, I can't see it. Sorry.
Hey, we're going to be making papers every weekend, for good or for bad. We're going to be making headline every weekend.
And don't get me wrong, I love me some Wayne Rooney. I love Wayne Rooney. I am a full supporter of Wayne Rooney. I wish him the best in his coaching career. But right now, the trajectory I see where Wayne Rooney is concerned, I would gotta make sure and clip that there and put that up. That is good.
I'm clipping the part with grain around the waist. Robert have court clothes, but Rooney have boxing gloves.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure. People, thank you for tuning in to the United Hour, Manchester United, allowing all of us to enjoy our weekend, to not be upset. We could sit down and watch Liverpool and Chelsea comfortable tomorrow, please God, because whatever happened, Manchester United won our game. You understand? And Arsenal lost. It's just an added benefit. You know, like if we needed a cherry on the top,
you get dessert before Sunday lunch.
You understand what I'm saying? So we give thanks for that. Peoples, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. And remember, Red Devils, we do not die. We multiply.